President Trump and members of Congress, my name is Stephen Gardner. I am writing you today as a concerned citizen of the United States of America. I am a husband, a father, a business owner, and a Christian. Near the end of March, you asked the American people to help flatten the curve of a virus. You asked as many as possible to stay home for 14 days. The American people banded together and followed the request. Congress then worked up and passed the CARES Act. The American people were given a small stimulus in exchange for their assistance in the lockdown. Then somehow the flatten the curve idea became the lock people down and remove their rights until we find a cure idea. I'm sure you are aware that close to 50% of the American population lives paycheck to paycheck. I'm sure you are aware that 50% of the population would have a hard time handling a $500 emergency. So how is this population supposed to handle being home for 75 days without additional financial assistance? You might say, we gave a generous $600 per week unemployment assistance on top of state unemployment. Some say this was too generous and will hurt the economy. Others say, thank you, this was good for me and my family. While others will feel cheated that they kept a job at lowered pay or lower hours. I know it is impossible to be fair to all groups, but the lockdown timeframe has gone far beyond many Americans' financial resources. President Trump, you ran on a platform of making America great again. For a season, it would appear America was thriving. However, now America is floundering. Unemployment is at 40 million. Millions are underemployed because they have been forced to take cutbacks on their hours. People are running out of food and running out of hope. I read a report of an interview where you, Mr. President, lamented on how hard the decision to shut down a booming economy was. I am sure this was a hard decision. I am sure the damage has been far more reaching and more damaging than even you expected. However, if you fail to act now for the citizens of this great nation, your legacy will be the president who did not step up and help his people during a national crisis. You have asked us to do our part as a country. The country is now asking you to do your part to help us. Get money to the people so that it can flow to the businesses. Get jobs going again so that people can provide for themselves and their families and take pride in their work. To Congress, and especially the Senate, please try to see through the eyes of the American people. In our hour of need, you went on vacation. In our hour of need, you said, let's pause and see what happens. Well, look what's happening now. For the American people, it seems that we paid you to abandon us. Do you know how humiliating it feels to feel like your government abandoned you? On the Statue of Liberty, it is written, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Well, we are tired, and the lockdown is making us poor. We are huddled together as families and as citizens, as humans yearning to breathe free. You have the power and the resources to jumpstart this great nation. In the Declaration of Independence, we read, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. George Washington fought for his people and alongside his people. Yet today it feels as though the government has forgotten what it's like to fight alongside its people. Jerome Powell of the Federal Reserve has shown more than enough empirical data for you and all economists to see that the country is sliding into depression, both financially and mentally. We need you to show your support for us now. Money to the people is money to the businesses. If you give money to the people, they will spend it. and cash will begin again to flow to small business owners that employ nearly half the country. Money to the people means money to landlords and mortgage holders. Money to the people means donations to food banks and churches and other worthy causes. Money to the people means they don't have to lower their morals in order to secure food or a place to live. And money to the people means moms and dads don't have to worry about how they will feed their children. While there is danger in telling people where and how to spend their money, there is wisdom in asking the American people to spend money in rebuilding their local economy. People do not please do not see us as a number or a vote. See us as humans. See us as citizens of this great nation. You can look at us as a cost, or you can reframe that thinking and see us as an investment. You do not need an 1,800-page Heroes Act to know that helping people is the right thing to do. The Heroes Act has more pages than the Bible, yet it speaks very little of helping the people. It shows very little love and care towards the people. In Washington, you guys are great at acronyms. The CARES Act, the Heroes Act. Now is the time to show up as a hero and show that you care by putting the people first. Now, I am under no delusion that this is a great task that lies before you and that the pressure you must be feeling is unbearable. Well, I'm here to tell you that we are feeling the pressure too. I am sure there are things that you know and things that you see that I do not, but I am certain that there are things that I see that you do not. People on fixed incomes spent those incomes trying to prepare for and survive the lockdown. 40 million Americans were pushed onto a 40 and 50-year-old understaffed unemployment system. Lastly, you have labeled some workers as essential and others as not. While I agree that some people needed to be kept on, your word choice leaves people wondering if they are essential as a human being, whether they have worth and whether they have value. I believe every human is a child of God, and their soul has great value in the eyes of their Creator. I am asking you to have eyes that see us all as essential. I am asking you to have eyes that see and ears that hear. The American people need help. That help will be put back into our local and national economy. We need a tough leader when we battle our enemies, and a compassionate leader when we deal with our fellow countrymen and women. Whether you win or lose the coming election, you have the opportunity to go down in history as the president and the Congress that put the United States citizens as their top priority. Thank you for taking time to hear the cry and concern of a United States citizen. I pray you will make the right decision. I pray you will see that the people of this great nation need your help. May God continue to bless America. Sincerely, Stephen Gardner.